And if you're looking for laughs this weekend, look no further. Sarah Colonna performing at the Tacoma Comedy Club starting today. And you have shows all weekend, so you got up early to come in here, hang out with us, and then you got to go back and get ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Be funny.
Yeah. I got up early, did some radio. Now I'm here, so thanks for having me.
Nice,
and then out to Tacoma.
It's great to have you. I'm a huge fan of yours, and I've always wanted to meet you, so it's a real pleasure. Were you a funny kid? Like, how did you end up on stage telling jokes?
I wasn't that funny
really?
As a kid. No, I don't know. I'm not sure why I decided I thought I would be, but I was not that funny of a kid. I was kind of, I sort of like enjoyed other people making me laugh, and then so maybe later I was like, oh, I'd like to.
So
now I want to be the funny one.
What prompted it? I mean, did you come up with a joke that you wanted to tell in front of people, or what was the genesis of the stand-up?
I was always just wanting to be a stand-up, and I would just write stuff in a journal, and so maybe I was more of like I'm going to write it down first and then figure it out. And then when I moved out to Los Angeles to start trying to get into acting and stand-up, I just kind of started going to open mics and winging it, and so it took a while.
Yeah, and
no more winging it. You won't see any winging it tonight.
No, there will be no winging it. And I'm curious too, because you have a Netflix show that's coming out. Tell us about this, because this is a big deal.
Yeah, it is. I'm very excited. It's called Insatiable. It's an hour show on Netflix, and there's 12 episodes, and it's coming out in August. And I'm a series regular on it, playing a bit of a drunk mom. So that part's a stretch. The mom part's a stretch, man. I probably had a drink or two in my life. But it stars this girl, Debbie Ryan, who was on Jessie. She was a big Disney star.
Oh, right.
And Dallas Roberts and Alyssa Milano. It's got a really good cast.
How fun.
Yeah, it takes place in the South, and it's a little dark, so it's fun.
Perfect. And you've also you've launched a fashion line of sorts as well.
I have. Well, I'm married to John Ryan. For people that don't know that, I go to a lot of Seahawks games, and I got very tired of the clear bag policy, because I don't think a lot of people know it doesn't have to be clear as long as it's the right size. Okay. It just can't be any bigger than 4x5 by 6x5. So I just started making these really nice bags. They're made here in the USA out of a really nice, it's a vegan leather, which I didn't know was a thing, but it is. Wow. And they're really nice. They come in Seahawks colors. I made them in a few other team colors. It's clutchwomen.com if anyone wants to check them out.
They're
nice purses, because you can get something that would fall apart, but I thought, why don't you have a nice bag that you can also use like as a perfect night out bag? Concert venues have the same policy now, so.
See, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Very functional.
I'm just a jack of all trades.
You are something. You're married to Seahawks punter John Ryan.
Yes.
And you're from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
He's from Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
How did you two meet?
He stalked me on Twitter.
Wow.
A little bit.
And does that work pretty well, that strategy?
I don't want to send a message to other women to reply just because someone slides up in your DMs, as the kids say. I don't want to send a message for people to go out with their Twitter stalkers. It worked out for me personally, but it may not work out for you. You could end up in a freezer. Okay,
so he was funny enough that he got your attention. Was that kind of the litmus test?
Yeah, and there was a little bit of a middleman. A friend of mine named Ross Matthews, who's also a comedian, is a big Seahawks fan, and John had approached him and said, I really want to meet Sarah Colonna. He used to watch me on Chelsea Lately when I was on that show a few years ago. And so Ross kind of was the middleman, and he was like, he's normal, it's going to be fine, I promise.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Punter is the weirdest job in professional sports, and you say that you are a big fan of the punter and punting in general. What do you root for? I mean, do you just root for, like, him not getting hurt?
Well, it's kind
of
it's sort
Let's go health.
Yeah, it's sort of health for sure. Don't get knocked out again. I always ask him.
Don't do that.
It's sort of strange because I'm sort of rooting not to see him. You know, like for the most part, you don't want to see the punter because you want to be scoring touchdowns. So for the most part, I'm like, yeah, you're cute, but don't come out. You know, so. I'm rooting for him to hold during field goals and to maybe, have to punt like once and have a good one and then get to rest the rest of the game.
That sounds like a great strategy to me. Sarah Colonna, a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on this morning. And by the way, you can learn more about her tour and this weekend shows in Tacoma. Go to sarahcolonna.com. That's COLONNA.